Principle 3, reinvest smartly. What is the goal of reinvesting in your business? Well, it's to increase your net operating cash flow. Because if you increase your net operating cash flow, you'll increase your self-financeable growth rate, you'll increase the value of your business, and you'll be able to build a business of your dreams. But what if you reinvest carelessly? What if through reinvesting, your net operating cash flow goes down? Well, your self-financeable growth rate will go down, your value will ultimately go down as well. You won't build your own capital. You'll have to go seek more capital from banks or investors, which will dilute your equity. Principle 1, protect and grow your equity. So you can see how these things all play together. You have to be careful to not be growing for growth's sake. A lot of us entrepreneurs chase these shiny objects. We have to have patient ambition. And each reinvestment we make must be made to grow the net operating cash flow of our business. If you think about the book, The Millionaire Next Door, we must be frugal as entrepreneurs as well. Protect every single penny. I've had way too many times in my entrepreneurial career on management-influenced waste, where I invest money. It could be a bad hire. It could be a different product or service line we thought was great, and it didn't work out. Think about the hundreds of thousands of dollars entrepreneurs waste through their own decisions that are reinvesting their dollars in an inappropriate manner. So we have to be really, really careful. We must have patient ambition. We must be patient along the way and not burn our cash flow. One of the ways we burn our cash flow is through large partner salaries or partner distributions. When the business gets to a lifestyle phase, we start making money, and next thing you know, we have these large partner distributions going out. Sometimes for tax reasons, we have to pay our tax bills, but in addition to that, partners just want to actually get some rewards for all the efforts they put into their business. But if you're sucking the cash out of that business, how are you going to actually grow your self-financeable growth rate? How are you actually going to grow the business of your dreams? So you have to be really careful when your business starts making money, not to siphon all the cash out of your business, but yet reinvest it so you can further your net operating cash flow, further your self-financeable growth rate, and further your value. So that's really, really important to start. The one important criteria before you start reinvesting wisely in your business is hitting your core capital target. Your core capital target has 3 different components. Tell me if you've hit these. A, 2 months of operating expenses in cash reserves, somewhere outside of your operating account. B, reserve for taxes. Again, outside of your operating account, do you have an account that has reserve for taxes? And C, debt-free. So here's why this core capital target is so important. If your business is debt-free, no bank loans, you've got cash reserves for both taxes and 2 months of operating expenses, you now have the empowerment, if you will, to reinvest in areas of your business with the excess cash flow to further grow your business. If you have debt on the books, you don't have a reserve for taxes, you don't have a safety net of reserves built up for operating expenses, should you be reinvesting in other areas? Probably not. Think about businesses during the most recent pandemic or past recessions. If they had these 3 things figured out in their business, they were surviving those periods of time. If they weren't, they were in big trouble. So try and achieve your core capital target as soon as possible, because as soon as you do, you can reinvest smartly in your business and be empowered. A lot of the companies that experience wild success have 10 times, not 2 months of cash reserves, they got 10 months of cash reserves, a year of cash reserves. They built up a nest egg so big they can weather any storm and get through it, but then they also have the opportunity to reinvest in areas that they see as opportunistic for their business. So achieving your core capital target is essential to the first step of reinvesting in your business. Now that you've achieved your core capital target, there are 4 areas of opportunity to reinvest smartly and wisely into your business. The first area is build operational capacity. I'm not talking about here hiring more employees. That's not building capacity necessarily as it is just bringing more people to your business. Your business needs to be scalable, and the way to scale is to build operational capacity. There's a lot of tools, a lot of softwares, there's artificial intelligence. Ultimately, you've got to make your team and or your manufacturing process or whatever it may be more efficient. Continue to deliver great quality at a higher quantity to further increase the margins of your business. Before you reinvest anywhere, this needs to be built up. You need to make sure that whatever you're producing, you can produce at the best margins possible. Number 2 is marketing and sales. You must know what your winning products and services are. In principle 2, build your own capital, we walk through the cash flow ladder. In the cash flow ladder, it helps you diagnose by service or product line, business segment, division, customer, whatever it may be, what are your most profitable areas of business from a cash flow perspective. Once you know this, if you know what your marketing and sales KPIs are, you can double down. And I'll give you a really good example, okay? Let's say you want to grow your business by $1 million in sales. If you know your KPIs, your key performance indicators, you should know how to reinvest in marketing and sales in order to generate $1 million in revenue. So for example, if your average product size or average job size or whatever it may be is $2,000, just to work your way backwards from a math perspective, you would need 500 sales at $2,000 to generate $1 million. Well, if your success ratio is 35%, that means you would need 1,500 leads at a 35% success ratio to generate 500 sales at a $200,000 job size at $1 million in revenues. You can work your way backwards. And if you knew that it cost you $50 per lead, then you know you need to invest around $70,000 in marketing to generate 1,500 leads at $50 a pop, a 35% success ratio if your success ratio is consistent, generate 500 sales to get $200,000 by sales of $1 million of revenues. You can work this model back and forth because if you know what your KPIs are, you know how much you can invest here to generate the revenues. Do you know your sales KPIs cold? It's very important. Step 3 is new business segments. Fair warning here. Before going to invest in any new shiny object business segments your company currently doesn't perform, you must attain your core capital target. You must seek out opportunities to build your operational capacity and really squeeze that lemon. You must know your marketing and sales KPIs and double down on your winning products and services. And then and only then have you maximized all those opportunities should you be looking at new business segments. In my entrepreneurial career, I always sought new business segments. I thought it was a way for us to grow and diversify our company. But when I took $1 million, say, hey, let's go start this new business segment over here, but I knew for the next 3 or 4 years that new business segment was going to take consistent reinvestment of cash flow. By doing that, it decreases your net operating cash flow on an annual basis. It decreases your self-financeable growth rate. It decreases your value, makes you go get investors and other capital, hurts your equity position. So you should only look to grow in new business segments that are tangential to your business if you know your marketing and sales KPIs and you've doubled down on your winners, if you've built operational capacity, and if you've attained your core capital target. The 4th area is mergers and acquisitions. I like to call this the high risk, high reward. Again, fair warning, you should not be looking at mergers and acquisitions unless you've achieved all the steps ahead of it. But if you have, small little tuck-under acquisitions and mergers to diversify your product lines, add on to your team, could really, really jump the value of your company. But again, you must be able to finance it. You must have hit your core capital target. You must be in a position that's sound for your business to grow, and take small bites. Take small bites that you can chew and incorporate intelligently. Do proper financial due diligence. Do proper cultural diligence. Proper legal diligence. Take your time. Have patient ambition. If you don't reinvest smartly in your business, you will affect your ability for your company to grow. You will affect your ability to build capital. You will affect your ability to protect and grow your equity. These are all tied together. You violate principle 3, you'll automatically violate principle 2 and 1, and it would really suck if you attain principle 1, attain principle 2, and then have management influence waste on this side that doesn't help you grow and protect your equity of your business and ultimately grow the value of the business. Principle 3, reinvest smartly.